My name is Emily Carter. And the day my stepmother celebrated getting $2.1 billion, while dumping a dying company on me, was the day they thought my life was over. But it was actually the day my empire began. 5 years ago, I sat in a cold marble law office while the lawyer read my father's will. My stepmother Margaret smiled as she received billions. My stepbrother Dylan laughed openly when the lawyer announced my inheritance. Carter Dynamics, a company drowning in debt, lawsuits, and failure. They expected me to collapse. They expected bankruptcy. They expected me to disappear. Instead, I walked out of that office with humiliation burning in my chest and one promise locked in my mind. I would rebuild everything they tried to bury me with. The first day inside Carter Dynamics felt like stepping into a graveyard. Machines were broken, workers unpaid, executives already quitting. Everyone told me the same thing. Shut it down, save your dignity. But I refused. I slept on an office couch, studied contracts at midnight, negotiated with angry banks, and rebuilt the company one brutal decision at a time. And before I tell you what happened next, if you enjoy powerful stories about revenge, resilience, and shocking twists, make sure to subscribe now, because stories like this prove that the people who laugh first don't always win in the end. 3 years later, the impossible happened. Carter Dynamics rose again. Machines worked, clients returned, investors lined up. The company they handed me as a corpse became stronger than ever. Headlines called it a miracle. Awards followed. For the first time in years, I believed I had outrun the past. But then one night, everything changed. At 12:30 a.m., someone pounded on my penthouse door so violently it shook the walls. I opened it, and the world stopped breathing. Standing there in the rain, trembling, soaked, barely alive, was my father, the man we buried 5 years earlier. For a moment, I couldn't move, couldn't think, couldn't breathe. Then he whispered my name, collapsed into my arms, and shattered everything I thought I knew. He wasn't dead. He had been drugged, manipulated, and hidden away, all orchestrated by Margaret, the woman who inherited billions. Rage replaced shock. If my father was alive, then everything they built on his death was a lie. I didn't rush blindly. I gathered proof. Medical records showing excessive sedatives. Witness statements from former employees. Even a recorded confession from Dylan admitting what they had done. Piece by piece, the truth formed into a weapon stronger than any lawsuit. The final confrontation came at a shareholders' meeting packed with reporters and executives. Margaret stood confidently on stage, accusing me of lies and desperation. She believed she had already won. Then the doors opened, and my father walked inside. Alive! Gasps filled the room. Cameras flashed. Margaret's confidence collapsed into pure terror. I played the evidence across every screen. Prescription records, witness statements, recorded admissions. Every lie unraveled in front of hundreds of witnesses. Within weeks, the courts reversed everything. Their stolen billions were frozen. Their power disappeared. The empire they built on deception collapsed faster than it had ever risen. But victory didn't feel loud. It felt quiet, peaceful. My father stayed with me while he recovered, learning how to live again after years of being erased. Carter Dynamics continued to grow, stronger than ever, not because of revenge, but because of resilience. And one evening, as we watched the sunset together, I realized something that changed me forever. They thought they buried me with a dying company, but they didn't bury me. They planted me. And instead of dying, I grew into something they could never destroy.